Greetings and welcome to Halfling 13 Gaming. We're continuing my Dwarf Treasure Hunters Warband today with a painting effort of the piece selected for the Dwarf Engineer. A support hero, his main benefit is providing weapon expertise to the band, which gives a plus 6-inch range to crossbows and handguns. This allows the dwarf crossbows to fire an impressive 36 inches in the game. The model I'm using is Ulgrindrim, the Dwarven Hero, sculpted by the Beholder Miniatures, and available on my mini factory. See a link in the description below. Ulgrindrim is printed in resin at 5 micron layer height and is designed as a single piece. For my warband, he's been renamed as Durgan Steambeard. This model was printed a bit ago, so already had a primer coat of Wraithbone Rattlecan. I opted to skip a zenithal highlight this time, mainly to be able to compare the final result with other models. In the painting process, I've used the following paints and tools: Wraithbone Primer, Nomad Flesh, Matte Black, Leather Brown, Rough Iron, Matte White, Plate Mail Metal, Charred Bone, a Pigma Micron 003 marker, Oak Brown, Dragon Red, True Copper, Uniform Gray, Dark Tone, and Cypress Brown. As is my typical process, I started from the inside and worked out. This meant the flesh colors were first, using Army Painter Nomad Flesh. With the amount of armor, this was really just the face, hands, and a bit of the arms. The next step was a pre-coat of the plate mail with matte black. I do this so that the bright silver shines better. I find it works much better over black base rather than over a light color. Black also helps to line the edges cleanly if some of the silver ends up being slightly missed. Leather details follow with leather brown. This is applied to the boots, the belts and straps, and the couple of pouches and bags he has. Care was taken to avoid crossing into the other regions where possible. For this warband, the chainmail weaponry is painted in rough iron, representative of the strong metal workmanship of the dwarves. This touches both the hammer as well as the lower armor pieces. While the iron dried, I touched a small bit of matte white into the eyes to highlight them and prepare for the pupils. At this point, I returned to the plate mail and used a layer of plate mail silver. This really brightened up the model quite a bit and has always worked well in the black background. I next moved to the clothing with a small amount of charred bone on the inner skirt of the armor. Very little of this, but it ties the model to my prior troll slayers. By now the white was dry, so I returned to the eyes and applied small dots for the pupils with a Pigma Micron 003 marker. I'm really starting to like this technique. I found it much easier to avoid crazy eye syndrome. Like all mature dwarves, Durgan has a healthy beard, which is colored in with a layer of oak brown. This also helps clean up the face a little bit where the flesh color was overly aggressive. My entire warband has a dragon red coloring for consistency. This was applied on this model as the line of the lower armor, contrasting well with the iron colors. Starting to wrap up the base coating, I applied a bit of true copper to the specific decorations, along with a little bit of highlighting on the hammer. A layer of uniform gray was applied to the stonework on the base to finish off the base coating. And then after a quick cleanup of the eyes with a bit of nomad flesh, it was time for the washing stage, with using dark tone across the entire model. As always, this adds shadow and detail to much of the surfaces, and helps blend the color transition lines. It gives the model a shiny wet texture until it dries, which helps to make sure that all surfaces are covered. At this point, the model was practically finished, but I went back for a few highlights of nomad flesh again on the face to brighten them up. I also added a few subtle teases to the beard and hair with some cypress brown. Finally, the routine layer of matte black around the rim of the base, and the Dwarf Engineer was completed. Durgan completes the leadership models for my warband, bringing the count to 4 at this point. I'm liking how they're turning out, and I'm inspired by the Warband itself, eager to get them onto the field of battle and find the treasure. My last models to come are the Thunderbeards, dwarven henchmen armed with crossbows. Thank you for watching to the end. If you enjoyed this content, leave a like or subscribe to the channel for more content. We post battle reports where these models will likely make an appearance in the near future. If you have any hints, tricks, or techniques to try, leave a comment. I'm willing to experiment a bit, especially on some of the non-Legion models. I'd also be curious to see your efforts in painting for either this unit or others.